Here we are on the couch now with Dr. Branko Sijnja. Branko, you're the Director of the Rural Immersion Program at Otago University.
Yes.
So the immersion program applications open currently at the moment?
Yeah, they're open now and closing on the 28th of August. So we're waiting to see. We usually get a run at the end, you know, suddenly they come, so we sit there anxiously waiting, but you know, we've always had more applications than we have places, so that's always a good position for us. Yeah.
So if you're a rural immersion student, what's different to a normal fifth year? What are the special things?
Okay, well, what we do is get the whole of the fifth year covered in the regions or in a provincial town. So it's away from the Auckland, Wellington, Christchurch, Dunedin. Auckland does its own program as well. It's away from there, and it's in our satellite, our regional teaching centres we call them. So they're in small towns. They spend the whole year there. We bring them together 3 times a year for residential to sort of fill in some of the gaps. But overall, their learning for the whole fifth year curriculum is spent out in those communities.
And a different type of experience than a big hospital?
Totally different experience, yes. The features that really come through from RMIP is the actual contact that the students have with patients. They are seeing multiple patients per day. They're working in the general practices, they're working in the wards, in the provincial and the rural hospitals. And you know, the patient exposures is the brilliant part of it. So when they're learning about conditions, we encourage them to follow up patients that they have seen. So they will see somebody, say, with rheumatoid arthritis, they will then go that night and go and read about it. So that they then have a picture of somebody with a condition in front of them. And that is a really good way to learn it. They retain it better, it's meaningful, you know, they can relate it to people. And above all, they work with these people. So the things that our students come out with at the end of the year is really a good ability of managing patients, understanding patients, and working with them.
So if I was a fifth year, I would be concerned about missing out on things. So how academically do they go?
Yes, academically they go well. We find that overall, if we average them out, what we've been studying is their ranking in the class. So we watch their ranking before they were in our program, and then when they finished our program, when they sit the end of year exams, we see the ranking in the class then. And we find overall it's slightly improved, their ranking.
Right.
Slightly.
Yes.
Some years it's up a bit, occasionally it's down a bit, but on the average, going across is a slight positive.
Yeah. Well, that's good, because I mean, often people would expect to go down.
They don't miss out.
Yes. Okay.
But what they do well is their clinical skills, and particularly their patient skills.
Yes. I mean, from a recruitment perspective, you'd hope long term that these folks are going to end up long term in a rural environment.
Yes.
Have you seen that happen?
Yes, we have. We surveyed them. We actually surveyed the class that, all of the ones that have been through up till the end of 2012, and we've been working on that, and we also did a follow-up on that to see that in what they were saying, was it actually happening?
Yes.
And what we found from that cohort going from 2007 when we started through to 2012, that actually 85% of the class was saying they were interested in a future rural career. So, okay, that's good, and we've thought, is it too good? We actually have a 50-50 split between rural origin students and urban origin students. And what we found, in fact, was of the rural origin students, obviously enough, 88% of those were indicating that yes, they would be looking for a future in rural. But of the urban ones, 75% were saying the same thing. So that was really positive. That's the ones that I feel that, yes, that's made a difference.
Yes.
And then looking at where they are now, okay, some of them are getting to the point where they have just started general practice. And yes, there are some out in general practice, but there's good numbers doing work in not the major centres, but they're in Palmerston North and the New Plymouth and places like that.
And you'd expect people wanting to get a bit of experience under their belt before they hit rural perhaps as well.
Yeah, they do. Yeah. Yes, they do.
So it's a long-term thing.
Yes, and some have been through the GPCME program, and
So what are the sites that people can go to? What are the rural sites that people actually end up in?
Yes, well we've got 3 students in Dannevirke, we've got 4 students in Masterton, and we've got another 4 based on Blenheim. We've got 3 at Greymouth, 3 at Queenstown, and 3 in Balclutha. So we've got 20 all told.
Right, okay.
And you know, it's a nice unit, it works well. I'd love to increase it. I'd love to do that. The university is a little bit less anxious to do that because in fact it is an expensive program. You know, we're teaching people on one-on-one or one on small group, and so obviously the cost per student is higher. You know, we do pay our way. People don't have students in there just for the love of it. We pay them. Now, it's not an hourly salary, no way. But what it does is it compensates for the slowdown factor. When you've got a student with you, yes, you will see less patients. And so we compensate for an estimate of the patients that you might have missed out on.
Right, okay.
So there is some funding that goes with it. And on a per student basis, it works out quite a bit more than the average student who stays urban. But you know, it works, and I think the results are justifying that output.
Branko, thank you very much for your time. Good job.
You're welcome. Thank you.